Welcome to Leader, brought to you by LEAD Brevard and the Leadership Brevard program, amongst many others. How you doing today? It is Thursday, May 14th. I am your host, Geo Ropert from Ropert and Partners Public Relations, and it is so good to have you joining us. And we are live today. Technology worked for us. And let me tell you what, that is something that I always have this challenge with, and it has been, but we managed to make it happen today. So our good friend Gary Neal, who will be joining us here in just a moment, is going to share a little bit more with us. But just a little bit of background here. Leader to Leader is brought to you every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, as I said, by LEAD Brevard. LEAD Brevard is Brevard County's leadership development and deployment organization. We really work hard to help out the folks who are here in our community, not only become bigger and better leaders within their own professions and industries, but also to be community leaders, to find the needs that are here in our community and be able to go out and address those and to support those. And as you know, we've got a very big county, we've got a very long county, we've got a long list of needs in this county, and so we do need leaders to help out in every which way they can. And so a good thing to do is become part of Leadership Brevard, go through the program, get to meet some great people, and get to learn a lot about our community and find out where you can plug yourself in. And we'll get more on that as we finish up today's show. Hey, if you're interested, we are going to be bringing the show to you continuously now, every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. If you or your business is interested in becoming a sponsor, please let us know. You can go ahead and get a hold of Kristen Bakke, who is the president and CEO. Reach her at Kristen, Kristin, at leadbrevard.org, or call 321-632-8222. So, and we don't want to waste any time. We want to get right to it because I got a great guest with me today. And folks, you know, there's a lot of construction going on in Brevard County. I live here in the Viera Suntree area. And boy, driving just up and down Wickham Road, you can see a lot of new stuff's coming up. A lot of those areas that were empty and for many, many years now are getting built up. And so I want to talk a little bit about that with our host, or our guest, I should say today, Gary Neal. Gary, thank you so much for joining me today.
Hey, Gio, thanks for having me today.
Great. Gary, you're the Vice President of M.E.C. Contractors and Engineers. You're a 2015 LEAD Brevard graduate, and you also serve on the board of LEAD Brevard. Tell me a little bit about your role there.
So my role on the board, actually, I'm just completing my rookie year on the board, so the hazing stage is over now finally, and Milo can back off. Milo, I hear you're out there, so you can back off now. I'm going to the year two. But my role now is more of a listening role for the first year. I did help out in a few different committees. It was part of the data analysis committee we started last year, which kind of looked at all the LEAD Brevard programs, put them into one pool and kind of rated, the effectiveness of each one to help, better steer future programs. So that kicked off last year, and I'm pretty proud of that. We'll continue to monitor that, to help facilitate new programs and to see the efficiency of those programs. Also, I'm part of the marketing and sponsorship committee with Scott Eller with Rock Paper Simple. Hey, Scott. We kind of get together, every month or so to kind of discuss all the marketing and sponsorship agendas and just making sure that all things are on task. I mean, Kristen do such a great job already with the sponsorship side that it's more just facilitating their needs more so than doing the actual work. Because as you know, Kristen does such a great job with the organization to begin with, but that's kind of what my roles have been so far, and we'll see how the next year goes.
Well, great. We're absolutely happy to have you on board and adding to that very strong leadership team that is part of LEAD Brevard. You're also a member of the Rockledge Rotary, and you're a former president. Tell me a little bit about the leadership skills and qualities required to keep a Rotary running smooth. Say that 3 times.
That's a tough one right there, Gio. So I am representing Rotary here, the shirt today, Rockledge Rotary. So you see you got the threads on. It was our meeting this morning. Just real quickly, so if people don't know much about the Rotary Club is a group of individuals across the world that get together in their local communities to give back to their local causes and also to give back to the international cause of ending polio and doing other local water initiatives across the world. So it's a really noble effort, and I'm proud to be a member of the group. from a leadership standpoint, I do hold the best position now, which is past president, which is the easiest job in Rotary once you're done being the president. But being the president and leading the group is more about the leadership of dealing with different personalities and understanding how to listen to their needs and make sure that you're hitting the points and really guiding the group through all the different challenges throughout the year, and trying to end the year on a better note than when you started. So that's kind of what I was as last year's president. But
that's great. And you guys do a big, you're the ones who put the big Derby Day on. That is very, very, it's an iconic event here in Brevard County.
So we're very proud and very sad that we do that event, because this year it has to be postponed. But yeah, I'm glad you know about that, Geo. It makes me feel great inside. It's a great event that every year we give back to Crosswinds Youth Services at Akoko, Ronald McDonald House, and Heart Thoroughbred Rescue, which kind of has a unique spin, because Heart Thoroughbred, people that don't know about that organization, they're based out of Akoko, and they actually take thoroughbreds off the race course that are off the racetrack that need a home, and they'll bring them in, they'll feed them, take care of malnourished horses, and pretty much set them up for adoption and make sure they're not euthanized, and they do a really great thing. So collaborating with them as a partner and bringing the live horses to Wickham Park, it's really been a great event where we've been able to raise a good amount of dollars for those three organizations I mentioned earlier to really benefit the whole community. But just so everybody knows, we're still trying to mull over how to reschedule this year's Space Coast Derby Day. So more to come on that, and we'll send out some information shortly on what we're going to do with this whole exciting coronavirus situation, which led us to this today, the Zoom call. But that's kind of what we got going on there.
Oh, great. And that's those are all noble causes, and especially I know the thoroughbreds, that because they are such a special breed that you just can't take them off the track and put them in somebody's pasture and have kids ride them. It's
it's an amazing organization here in Cocoa that not many people know about. Right in our backyard.
That's wonderful. That's why. And again, there's so many assets in Brevard County that you really don't know about. And I don't think you learn about them unless you do something like Leadership Brevard, because I know I was in the class of 2001, and when I had already lived here, almost 20 years, and thought, yeah, I know this place. We went to places and saw things that I did not know ever existed here in Brevard County. And I'm sure you found the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest takeaway from Leadership Brevard, best class ever, 2015. Sorry, Geo, but anyways, I know that's probably every interview says that, tells you that. But I mean, the biggest takeaway for me, honestly, was that what you mentioned was learning about those things around me, learning what the needs were in the community, not only the needs, but just being educated on how the governmental process works, and also taking that information, tailoring that with all the people you meet who are also community leaders. I think I've taken a lot away from that, where if I need a resource or need something, I know who to call, who I can refer, just that connecting piece of Leadership Brevard, I think, through the educational aspect and getting to know the people in the class has really been the biggest benefit.
Yeah,
the last 5 years.
Some great points. It's once you're part of this, you belong to the club, and yep. Regardless of the year, you still have you can reach out to anybody from any year. You let them know you're a Leadership Brevard grad, and that really opens up a lot of doors. It has for me, and I'm sure it has for you as well.
Absolutely. Just staying open, being selfless, and you just so many opportunities present themselves from that experience.
Yeah. Let me share a little bit. You're in the construction industry, and I know there's been a lot of changes in every industry. What's kind of happening in your world, and how are you adapting your leadership skills to be able to manage the projects and the people who are obviously having to work under different conditions than they ever have?
I think the biggest component of this whole crisis from a construction standpoint is just making sure you're organized and staying ahead of everything, staying ahead of the problems, being proactive as opposed to reactive to issues. And I think us as a team at M.E.C, we try to always be proactive. And I think being that we're proactive, not reactive, and then extremely responsive has led to the growth that we've seen in the last 5 years as an organization. But same with the COVID item. I think we were one of the first to get, hand washing stations on all of our job sites, just trying to get everybody masked on the job sites, trying to stay ahead of this thing where the clients feel comfortable if they visit the site, making sure our subcontractors feel comfortable, getting all of our subcontractors letters for when they drive in their truck around the state. They get pulled over, they can have, information for the authorities, stating where they're going because they're an essential business. And then, obviously this hasn't been great for the construction industry from the standpoint of those industries, as Geo, that have taken the run of this,
Yeah.
Entertainment. So some of our Disney projects have dried up. Retail projects, some of those have gone on hold or been stalled. Restaurant projects, those kinds of projects. So, but we do see some of them coming back online now, so that's a good thing. Some of the restaurant projects are moving forward, and we think the retail project is going to move forward, but there will be lasting effects from this for sure.
I really believe it, and as much as I hope we could all return to to those days of yesteryear or yestermonth, if you will, this is going to be a very different world. We're going to have to adapt and find new ways. But I think that one of the things that is great, and especially when you've been through a Leadership Brevard program, when you're connected to a community like this, you start looking for ways to make sure that we all get through.
Yeah, exactly. How can you help somebody else is more important than how you're doing yourself. I think you're right about that for sure.
Yeah. Well, so as we finish up today, Gary, what advice or counsel can you give to other leaders in our community as we move into this different way of doing business?
I think you kind of hit on that right there, Gio. Just making sure you're open, you're listening, you're helping others, you're putting others first, and you're always there to lend a helping hand. No matter if it's community driven, business driven, just constantly reaching out to your connections and just being there as a resource. Because
Right.
without working as a community, we're not going to get through this as quickly. And the communication aspect so key across all platforms.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we do have a wonderful county to live in. I see us as being one that if you put it up against anybody else, I say if anybody's going to recover fastest, we have probably the best chance to do it, not only for the industries and the place that we live, but for the people that make it up too.
Best county ever.
Absolutely. Well, Gary, thank you so much. Gary Neal from M.E.C. Contractors and Engineers. He's the vice president over there. It's been great to have you today, and we'll look forward to speaking to you more in the community. Don't forget, everybody, Leader to Leader is on every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday live on Facebook. And you can always catch the replay later on. We'll put it up there. And then LEAD Brevard also will be adding that to their YouTube channel. And if you are interested in becoming a sponsor of Leader to Leader, this show will continue to grow. We will continue to host
Gio.
it. Yes, sir.
Last quick question. I just got to know. I know this is the big question for working on Zoom. Are you wearing pants or shorts right now? A lot. I'm wearing my running shorts.
You know what? There you go.
Running shorts. You go for a nice run after the interview,
That's exactly right. You know what? My laundry and dry cleaning bill has never been lower.
Exactly.
Aside from having to put a shirt on every day, if I didn't have to do that, for these kind of things, I would pretty much be a pair of shorts and flip flops. So that's what's down on the bottom. But here we're trying to look a little bit.
There we go. See, I knew it. I blew up your spot there, Gio. It's okay though.
All right. Anyhow, so hey, great. These are the kind of interviews I love. Have a little bit of fun while we're doing it, and we will keep doing it until somebody says we can't. Again, join us every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 12:15 for Leader to Leader, presented by LEAD Brevard. I am Geo Ropert from Ropert and Partners Public Relations. Thanks for joining us today, and we are so glad that you did.
Thanks.